Hello, this is Ronald Bourgeois, and you're watching SkilletSkills.com. Role reversal here. I'm here grabbing the camera, and we're going to check Garrett's progress with the flipping egg section, just using that egg flipping technique. And like I mentioned before, start with bread. That way you don't get eggs on your shoes on the floor, because it will go there when you first learn how to do this. All right, start off with the egg over the burner, because I want to let you know at what time you should do that. You can't flip eggs in a cold pan. They just don't move, they don't slide. So the first thing you do is make sure your pan is under heat and the eggs are sliding around. So assume that the bread is eggs. Grab the pan, and you want to start the motion of sliding. If you don't flip yet, just hold it over the burner, and right there over the burner, just start sliding the pan. And you see if the eggs are sliding, now they're ready to flip. Now, the next thing you want to do is position the egg yolks. What you can't have is, let's see, one yolk here and one yolk there, because when you flip it, they'll go land on top of each other and burst. You have to have one yolk here, one yolk there, in any position, but as long as they're looking at you. All right, you want the eggs positioned so as you slide it, you want them to end up in the center of the pan with the two yolks here and here, just looking at you. Now you're ready to flip if they're sliding. So you move to the front, move to the back. All right, now you take your motion and just throw it up in the air. And when the pan comes down, when the eggs come down, the pan comes out. There you go. And don't just leave the pan smacking against those yolks. There you go. Slowly let it come down. There you go. Very good. Let's check them out from the back here. All right, that's good. That's the motion. Okay, now to get started, we always do this process. You have your pan. Step over here, we take the pan and we heat the pan. You don't have to be worried. Pans take a little while to heat. On any kind of a non-stick pan, it's usually a minute or two. If it's cast iron that you're cooking with, you'll be surprised. With cast iron, 3 to 4 minutes. And then cast iron holds heat. You could almost turn cast iron off after that and do basic things in it, as long as it doesn't have to be the long-term heating of the dish. But if you're just heating something for a specific purpose within cast iron in a short period of time, it takes about 3 minutes to get it heated up. I could flip eggs in a cast iron skillet by heating it up for 4 minutes, turning the heat off completely, and finishing it out with no flame. I don't usually use cast iron for flipping eggs. It's very good to use if you can get a pan that's treated, but all my cast iron I use for gumbo and various Dutch oven type dishes that go in the oven. So these are the ones you want to use for it. Now see, it's been going for about a minute or so, and next thing you do, once it starts to get warm a little bit, is you add the oil. Okay, and that's it. That's a ring of oil. You wait a few seconds to let the pan understand that it's got oil in it, and then you want to go ahead and swirl this oil around. And now you're ready. Now with eggs, you have to be decisive and firm. You can't. Here's the process: smack, crack, track. That's what you can remember with eggs. So you smack it, you crack it, and when I say track, I mean don't do anything to it. Just watch it. Okay. You hear those bubbles are a little loud, so turn the flame down a little bit. You don't want a lot of commotion in here. And you want to see that it slides. You see how it slides around, nice and easy. Take your egg, come out to the side, throw it up the air, and then flip it. You notice in that motion that the egg went up and my pan, went down. Get it back over here so it gets reheated. And that's what it should come out looking like. With an egg. Now, first one's usually, you know, the throwaway one, but I've been doing this for a long time. So now, let's look at what happens here. See, even a non-stick brand new pan, which is what this is, you see that? That came off of that egg. You know, that could have caused a disaster. That could have been an egg on the floor. But if the egg slid around like it did, okay, I knew that it was okay to throw it up in the air, okay? The reason that's there is I probably could have let it set just a little bit more before I flipped it. I don't know, maybe that wasn't a big deal. It didn't affect the way the eggs look. You dry them up with paper towels before you serve it. That's what you want an over easy egg to look like, okay? Not a busted yolk. You flipped it up in the air, and it came out, and you just laid it into the pan like that, okay? Now, this last one, we had a little bit of residual oil, so we put more than we needed last time. So we just take this one last egg, stick it in there, take your pinch of salt and pepper. Let it just sit there. I don't like flipping over a stove because you'll hit these things or oven hoods and your eggs will go quick. I like to take it off to the side of it. Sometimes when you get this kind of stickiness, it's watery eggs. There is nothing you can do. It is in your pan. Eggs. Okay. Take it out here. Whip it out like that. You can see they're watery by looking at the bottom. Eggs that are not watery don't look like that. And they don't stick either. Okay then. And that's we've got eggs everywhere. Pretty much what they look like. Okay, let's start to wrap this up. I want to first explain to you that when we do these videos, we don't like to make them pristine and free from any possible misstep, because it's not how life is, and it's not how it's going to be when you try to start cooking, especially with eggs. All sorts of unexpected things will happen, and you need to understand how you can work through them. I didn't think that eggs would be nearly as watery, and you don't know that when you go to select them. And if they are, no matter how you heat the pan in attempts to avoid a problem with them sliding, they're not going to slide well if they're watery. So what did we do to correct it? We didn't freak out. We just took the spatula, slid under it, added a little bit more oil, and got the eggs to where they slid a little bit. When we flipped them up in the air, you looked and you said, oh, it looks a little scorched. Well, these are going to be over medium eggs. No one is going to be served over easy eggs that are watery, because it's just impossible to do. But if you look at how they came out, that's acceptable. It looks pretty nice, but could you do better? Yeah, of course you could. And you use the same techniques, doing it the same way. Select the right eggs, and I can guarantee you, I've had mornings cooking eggs when waitresses stopped in front of everything I put out and said, oh, those are pretty eggs. And I can assure you, it's the eggs. It's not as much how you flip them as it is what you've selected in the first place. And it's also your pan, and make sure you have a good non-stick pan. So never use this pan for anything else. Eggs, try and not get it wet. Wipe it out. It comes to terms with the heat each time, so it sterilizes itself. You don't have to wash these things out with soap and water. Don't. Okay. I give you the same advice for that as I would with cast iron. And so that's going to pretty much wrap things up. We will continue to show you these foundational skills. I will continue to allow someone that has never done it before do some of the primary examples. I'll let you see what actually happens, all the mistakes as they're in progress, and we'll show you all the ways you can work around them. But you can work around them. You can get these systems into your head. You can understand the pinch method, heating the pan, get your consistency that way and be very, very effective without having to sit down and memorize a lot of recipes. Your food will end up tasting fantastic, just understanding the skills.